Message from Sunnah followers. This is from Sheikh Saleh. We need to unite. Sisters, wear your hijab. Wear your beards. Be proud of your beards. Stay home, stay home, stay in your home. Stand up, unite, and stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right, Saleh. We all should stand up in solidarity, not transgressing the limits of Allah, but standing together with patience and understanding. This is Sunnahfollowers.
With dignity, humility, and balance.
If you want to learn about how to balance and maintain your faith every day, you need to be here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, being taught by Laila Nasheeba, streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers. Hope to see you there, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Yusuf and this is Ayub. And if you are benefiting like we are from the classes and the ongoing programming and tuning into the Sunnahfollowers, please donate. Let this be an ongoing sadaqah jariyah on your behalf. You're helping the kids, the conference, and everyone seeking knowledge. And it's a wealth of information every day you tune in. Don't forget, you are being rewarded for your generous donations to keep this programming on air. You know, just like what you're hearing, put your dollar where the dollar's at. Right here on Sunnahfollowers. Don't forget, donate. Right here to Sunnahfollowers and dollars out. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Rowing your deen and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the Day of Judgment is sadaqah jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the Sunnahfollowers.net website, pressing the donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen guys, this is very important and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, sadaqah jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment. Sunnahfollowers presents a new hadith class taught by Ustada Laila Nasheeba, Riyadus Salihin, every Monday and Wednesday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers. This week's topic on the Ask Sister Laila Live show: what will happen on the Day of Judgment in Islam? Details such as the resurrection, gathering, presentation of deeds, the weighing of deeds, judgment and reckoning, the Sirat Bridge, and so much more eye-opening events that no man, jinn, or creature will be able to escape on that day. Please join Ustada Laila Nasheeba on Friday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, as this very important topic is discussed and broken down for the believer and all who care to hear.
We are streaming on all major platforms, so please join us. Channel Sunnahfollowers.
The Maqasidic Tafsir.
Where should I begin when I'm starting at the end? Pursuing the higher aim, learning the meaning of every page. Where should I begin when I'm starting at the end? Another addition to your Islamic education, Maqasidic Tafsir, Healing and Governance, the Transformative Path of Sabah as-Tiwal, written by Dr. Karim Abuzaid. Join Laila Nasheeba every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m., streaming all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers.
Ina alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our Maqasidic Tafsir class, and this is volume 3 of the Maqasidic series that's been written and put out by Dr. Karim Abuzaid, and we have been discussing Islamic governance, and of course, guys, there is no Islamic governance, so to speak, really for us, and there won't really be any Islamic governance until the advent of al-Mahdi, and that won't occur anytime soon. But we have been discussing how when it comes to Islamic governance, our governance is totally different from secular governance. For instance, we have certain pillars that we have to abide by. There are certain pillars of governance that we have that secular governance does not have. And we've already discussed 3 of those pillars of governance. And tonight we will go over the 4th pillar of governance. And let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen. And again, for those of you who have not yet purchased the book, please go to Amazon and buy the book. The book is only $14.95, and that's how the book looks. The Maqasidic Tafsir Volume 3. The book is only $14.95. It can be purchased on Amazon, and that's a picture of Dr. Karim Abuzaid, because as I'm always saying, it's very important, especially in 2025, that you know who you're taking your knowledge of Islam from, because we are living in the days of the Ruwaybida, and Dr. Karim Abuzaid is not one of the Ruwaybida. So you need to know who you're learning from, and that's a picture of me, yours truly. Okay, so tonight we're going to be continuing with Islamic governance. We'll begin chapter 2.5, and we'll discuss the 4th pillar of Islamic governance, which is entitled Bayyah, giving Bayyah or allegiance. Pledging allegiance, and we're going to speak about that. But before we get into the 4th pillar, I just want to review the 3rd pillar. First of all, who can tell me what's the 1st pillar of Islamic governance? Just to catch us up to date. Who can remember what is the 1st pillar of Islamic governance? Can anyone tell us? What is the 1st pillar of Islamic governance?
Tawheed.
Good job, mashallah. The 1st pillar of Islamic governance is belief in the oneness of Allah. Whoever we appoint as the Khalifa. And what does Khalifa mean? What is the English meaning of the Arabic term Khalifa? What does Khalifa mean in English? Come on, people. You always throw these Arabic terms out. What are you saying in English? What does Khalifa mean? You guys use this term all the time and y'all don't know what y'all saying. Does it mean bathroom? Does it mean water? Does it mean kitchen? What does Khalifa mean in English? Come on, you Muslims use these terms every day. What are y'all saying? That's why I tell you, brothers, when y'all teaching this religion to non-Arabic speaking people, and most of the Muslim world are non-Arabic speaking people. What does Khalifa mean? Thank you, brother Muhammad. Khalifa means leader. I want everyone listening to me to write it down. What does the word Khalifa means? It means leader. Leader, Leader. So if you hear somebody say Khalifa, they're saying leader. The same as, what does Imam mean? Y'all know what the word Imam means? Anybody tell me, what does Imam mean? Leader. Leader? Imam means leader too, but they mean leader in different aspects. Imam is leader of your community. Of your community. Community. Khalifa is leader of the entire nation of Muslims. So let's get it right, Norto. Norto said it backwards. Imam is leader over the mosque. The Imam is the leader over the Islamic mosque or the Islamic community. I want everybody to get a pencil and paper, because Arabic is a different language than English. I tell y'all, one Arabic word can mean a million different things. Imam is leader over the mosque or the Islamic community. Khalifa is the leader over the entire nation of Muslims. You didn't have it backwards? Oh, you're lagging. And she's on YouTube. YouTube is lagging, smart mouth. Okay, YouTube is lagging. Okay, so write that down. Y'all got it? Anissa and everybody in Zoom? So, the Khalifa is a leader over the entire nation of Muslims, the world of Muslims. Imam is just the mosque. All right. So, the first pillar of Islamic governance is that whoever we appoint as the Khalifa, meaning the leader over the entire nation of the Muslims of the world, he has to believe that he's a representative of the nation of Muslims, and that he's held accountable to whom, guys? He's held accountable to whom?
Allah.
Right, that he's held accountable to Allah, that he's not the leader of the world like the Kafirs believe. A king thinks he's the king of the earth. He's the leader of the world. No, I am a representative of the Muslims of the world, but I am held accountable to Allah. Y'all understand that? So he has to believe and the deity of Allah, that only Allah is worthy of worship, not him, that the people don't worship him, that the people worship Allah, and that he also worships Allah and is held accountable to Allah. So that's the first pillar of Islamic governance. What's the second pillar of Islamic governance? Who can tell us? What's the second pillar of Islamic governance?
Justice.
Good job. The second pillar is justice. And what does that mean? What does it mean?
Fairness. Fairness.
No. What does it mean? Wait a minute. I don't know. I don't want a definition of justice. What does that mean when we say that the second pillar of Islamic governance is justice? Justice. Who has to be just? Explain where it lies and how is you? Who is it? What is it? Give me the information of it. Justice. Who's held accountable for that? What? Who? What? Where? When? Why? Explain it. Come on, common sense. Who has to carry out the justice?
The Khalifa, the person that's in charge, have to.
Okay, and a good job. And how does he carry it out? Give me the. In other words, don't let me pull it out of you. Tell me how he has to do it.
Basically, you're not basically.
How does he show it?
Family ties and all that stuff. It's
good.
Nothing personal. Just doing it off of justice.
Okay. In other words, right. He has to be just. Just how? With what? With Allah's laws. He rules by what? He rules by the laws of Allah. The leader of the Muslims, he governs by the laws of Allah, Sharia, the laws of Allah. And those laws apply to all citizens. Even if it were his family, as you guys see with Umar, radiallahu anha. Umar let the people know, even if it were my children. What did Umar tell his sons? Even if you are caught drinking, the punishment will be carried out against you. Don't think that because you are my children, you are my relatives, that you are deserving of more money or wealth or better treatment. You're not deserving of nothing more or nothing less than anyone else. Justice for everyone. We're all equal. The laws of Allah are to be carried out with equity, regardless of social status, regardless of who you are, where you come from, what race you are, what language you speak, whether you are dhimmi, whether you are a dhimmi or not. The laws apply to the non-Muslims too. We're going to treat them with fairness and justice too. We're going to investigate. Okay, we're going to base everything on evidence. Based on what Allah said. So adl, that's justice. That's the second pillar of Islamic governance. The Khalifa or the leader has to rule with justice. Allah's laws with justice. And what's the third pillar that we talked about? Which was the last time we met. It's right there. Yeah, good job. It's right there on the screen. Everybody should get it. It's Shura. Good job. And now that takes us to the question that's on the screen. What is the meaning of the term Shura? Islamic governance is also based on Shura. And what is the meaning of the term shura? Is the meaning collective decision-making, having a collective decision-making committee? Or is it having a jury? Or is it having accountability?
It's the first one, collective decision-making committee? Yes. We have one, that's why I remember it.
Yes, exactly. Good job. That's exactly what it is. Islamic governance is also based on having a collective decision-making committee. And that's what the Khalifa has. The leader has a collective decision-making committee in place, okay, that will help him to collect it. They'll come together to collectively help him to make decisions that will be in the betterment of the people. And that decision should be based on what? What is the role of the shura? Uh-oh, wait a minute. I hit the wrong button. Every time I use these computers, man, telling y'all. So what is the role of the shura? Since it is a decision-making committee, what is the role of the shura? They work with the leader to do what? What is their role?
Follow the laws of Allah.
That's not really the answer. What is the role of the shura? What is the role? They work with the leader to help do what, guys?
What, they work in decision making?
That's what they do. But what is their role? That's the definition of it. But what is their role? They work with him to help do what? Got to give me more. I gave y'all part of the answer. Y'all should have listened when I was almost giving it away. I just didn't give y'all the meat. I gave y'all the potato, but not the meat. What is the role of the Shura Committee?
To bring justice?
No. What is the role of the Shura Committee? They work with the leader to do what? To make decisions.
To make the right decision.
Based on what? Give me more. Right decision. Well, how did they determine what's right? Based on what?
On Sharia.
What does that mean? Break it down. Plain simple.
Based on the Islamic law of Allah.
Based on y'all just keeping it so y'all making it so broad. Can y'all make it more simple, more easy to understand? Can y'all break it down in plain? Okay, the role of the Shura in Islamic governance is this, guys. They sit down with the leader and help in decision making. How do they help in decision making? Whenever there's a problem, they look at the problem. They weigh the pros. They weigh the cons. They look at the situation and weigh everything. They weigh everything against the Quran. They weigh everything against the hadiths. And they come up with a solution based on this. You see how I'm answering? Y'all need to be more. Don't sit there and try to use these terms that y'all don't. Like the prophet said, if you can't explain your answer, then that means you don't know the answer. All y'all doing is giving me a textbook answer, which is telling me that y'all memorizing from a book, but you don't understand what the book is saying. Because if you cannot break it down in plain, simple, grassroots English, as if you were explaining it to an 8-year-old kid, that means you don't understand it, yet you don't really know the answer. They'll sit down. If a person comes to them with a problem about marriage or a problem about anything, they'll look at the problem. They'll weigh it against the Quran. They'll weigh it against the Hadith and come up with a solution based on that. And these are men who have expertise in certain areas of Islam. This person here, this brother, may have expertise in marriage, for example. This brother here may have expertise in Islamic law. That's how it's supposed to be. Your shura at the mosque probably ain't got expertise, not even in Tawheed, I'm sorry to say. Because most mosques got a bunch of women on their boards and they shuras too who don't even know nothing. But sorry, it's the truth. And I understand now they got the LGBTQ involved. But let's look at what you guys are learning from Umar, radiallahu anhu, the Caliphate of Umar. Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, his Shura committee. Okay? He had Ibn Abbas. May Allah be pleased with him. Ibn Abbas was an expert of, he remembered everything that the Prophet Muhammad said and did. He was an expert of hadith. When the men asked, why are you including him as a part of our committee? He told them, the Prophet made dua that he never forgets anything I say or anything I do. So I'm adding him to our committee of experts because he's never forgotten anything the Prophet said or did. So there's your expert of hadith. Okay? He had another companion on his committee. He had Abu Bayyah, who was a seasoned companion of warfare, okay, who fought in all the battles with the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He had Ali, radiallahu anha, who was his personal advisor on that committee, who was also original and seasoned. Okay? So the shura should consist of men of expertise, not women. Men of expertise. You might have a brother here who's an expert in marriage. Another brother on your decision-making committee who's an expert in finance, Islamic finance. Another brother on your committee who's an expert in Islamic understanding or fiqh. Another brother here who's an expert in Quranic law. So that's the role of the shura committee. You put a team of brothers together who are experts in different avenues or different aspects of jurisprudence, of Islamic jurisprudence, that can help you to deal with situations when they arise within the community. That's for your masjid. Well, with the Khalifa, with the leader over the entire nation, it would be people that can help deal with the issues that arise of impacting the entire nation. Do y'all understand the role of the shura now? Does that make sense? It should be a team of decision-making experts of different fields, your cabinet, so to speak, your cabinet of experts. And everything should be based on the laws of Allah and the hadiths of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not opinions. That's what makes us different. There's only two sources of Islam, the Quran and the hadith, not that other stuff. So they keep everything Islamic. They're supposed to keep everything within the guidance of the laws of Allah and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, the Quran and the Sunnah, not anything else. All right. Last question. I think this last one. When did Shura first become utilized? Was it during the time of the Prophet? Was it during the time of Umar or after the companions? When did Shura first become utilized? Who can remember?
During the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
MashaAllah, during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam initialized Ashura during his time. But the difference was he would utilize his shura, and after they made a decision, he would wait. He wouldn't just act on that. He would wait for either confirmation from Allah or for Allah to reject that decision. Allah would either confirm what they agreed to do or reject it. Good job. So those are the first three pillars that we talked about. Today we're going to go into the fourth pillar. Wait a minute, I think I got, what is this, another question? Oh, are shura utilized today? We already did answer. The masjids. A lot of the masjids utilize them. But unfortunately, the masjids are imitating the kafir. Like the Prophet Muhammad said, we will imitate the Christians to the point that if they crawl into a hole, we will follow them. Unfortunately, a lot of the masjids today have shura committees, and they have appointed women to be on those committees. The companions didn't put no women on no shura committee. They didn't put no women on no executive board or no mosque. None of that. The mosque is not a place for women. Okay? The companions didn't utilize women that way, and neither should they be utilized that way today. Okay. So today we're going to discuss the fourth pillar. The fourth pillar. And again, this fourth pillar, I want y'all to know, it only applies for caliphate. There's a difference between Khalifa and Imam. Khalifa is the leader for the entire nation of Muslims, whereas the Imam is just a leader for a community of Muslims. And this fourth pillar is called Bayyah. This is giving allegiance. Bayyah is an Islamic tradition that establishes the relationship between the leader and the entire Muslim nation. It is not a symbolic allegiance to a flag, nor is it representation of nationalism, because all of that can lead to idolatry. That's why I keep telling you Muslims, all this flags, walking around carrying flags, that's not part of Islam. That's imitating the Kafirs too. Like the Prophet said, you Muslims will imitate the Kafirs and everything. Walking around carrying flags of countries, we don't do that. That's a form of idolatry. Our allegiance ain't to no country. Our allegiance ain't to no flag. Okay? So, allegiance to a flag is representation of nationalism. We don't do that. Bayyah is rooted in the Sunnah as an element supporting the structure of Islamic governance. Its significance lies in legitimizing the authority of the leadership, ensuring the ruler's accountability. Again, the leader is accountable to Allah. and defining the mutual responsibilities between the leader and the people he is governing. So this pledge highlights the Islamic principle that leadership is a trust from Allah. It's an amanah, a trust to be exercised in accordance with Allah's laws and regulations. So we don't give bayyah. We don't give allegiance to a local imam. But if there was a Khalifa, when the Mahdi comes, the Mahdi will be the ruler over all of us on earth as Muslims. When Jesus comes, Jesus will be the ruler of the entire earth. We give allegiance to them, but we do not give allegiance to your local imam, okay? Because he's not a ruler over the earth, all right? So the Bayyah process is conducted in a manner that reflects sincere commitment and mutual consent. And traditionally, it involves influential members of the Ummah offering their pledge to the ruler of the Ummah. This pledge is contingent upon several conditions, mainly the ruler's commitment to rule by the Quran and the Sunnah and to uphold justice and to work for the welfare of the people. The Bayyah is a bilateral agreement emphasizing the ruler's responsibility to adhere to the laws of Allah and the community's duty to support him. And this is very important. When we do have a Khalifa, we have to support him in achieving the objectives of the Islamic State. And that is established for the common goal and welfare and prosperity of the Islamic State. Okay, but like I said, none of this is ever going to happen until the Mahdi comes, and that's a long time from now. The Mahdi ain't coming until after the entire earth goes through the war, and we haven't reached that state yet. Okay. So how is it implemented? Well, the practice of Bayyah can be traced back to the time of the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we talked about this when we did the story of the life of the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He received pledges from his companions, including the pledge of Al-Aqaba before the migration, and the pledge of Ridwan from the treaty, during the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. These instances highlighted the practical implementation of allegiance and supporting the Islamic mission and establishing the Prophet's leadership. And we talked about that in those classes. And also during the era of the Rashidun leadership, the Caliphate of Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and Ali, may Allah be pleased with them all. The Bayyah continued to play a crucial role with the successor being chosen through a process that involved the Shura, which you learn in Mukhtar's class, and then the people would give Bayyah to them. Okay? And again, Bayyah stands as a testament to the democratic and ethical spirit of Islamic governance. Again, we don't go around voting. We don't vote for a leader, okay? The leader is nominated, and then the people give allegiance to him. So Bayyah is not just a mechanism for establishing authority, it's a trust, an amanah to uphold the values and objectives of our way of life, which is Islam. And it's one aspect of the Sunnah that must exist in some form in every community. as it is commanded upon a believer to support its leaders. However, I want everybody to understand, again, because even here in America, there are some Muslims that think that you are supposed to give Bayyah to your local imam. This is not correct. The majority of the scholars say that we do not, they all agree that we do not have to give Bayyah to any local imams. But what we have to do is just don't rebel against them. You don't have to give Bayyah to the rulers of your country either. You don't have to give Bayyah to the king of Saudi Arabia, for example. You don't have to give Bayyah to the ruler of Oman or Egypt either. It's just that we do not rebel against them. And they base that on what Allah says here. O you who believe, obey Allah, obey the messenger and those in authority amongst you. So we don't give allegiance to the rulers of the Islamic countries, but we don't rebel against them. We cannot turn and rebel against them and all that nonsense, like some of these terroristical brothers are trying to get people to do. So that's the fourth pillar of Islamic governance, but again, the Bayyah is only done in the advent of a caliph or a leader for the entire nation of Muslims. And that won't happen until the El Mahdi. And after him, Jesus. All right. Any questions or comments? Yes, brother. If you belong to a community and the imam of your community is telling you to kiss his hand and give a bayah to him, no, that's not how it should be. No, we don't give allegiance to any imams. Mm-hmm. And I just given you the dalil. Yeah, any other questions or comments? Yes, I'm aware that that's happening a lot here in America. It was happening when I was a child growing up here in the 60s too. It's always been happening. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me remind everybody that tomorrow, alhamdulillah, is a Friday. It goes by fast. And tomorrow we have my Ask Sister Laila live show. And it's a special topic chosen by Sister Jamila. I'm going to speak about and answer questions about what happens on the Day of Judgment. The sisters were so impressed to find out what happens in the grave. So they wanted to know what's going to happen when you come out of the grave. What's going to happen to the kafirs? What's going to happen to the people who were punished in the grave on the Day of Judgment? So I'm going to go into details. I'm going to talk about the raising up out of the grave. I'm going to talk about the Sirat Bridge. I'm going to talk about the dipping. I'm going to talk about the weighing of the scales. I'm going to talk about the animals. I'm going to answer the questions about what happens to the animals on the Day of Judgment. What happens to the earth? Inshallah, I'm going to cover those questions about that tomorrow, inshallah. And any other questions you guys have. So try to bring your questions. And remember, that offer is still there. Anyone, we're taking topics for next month. Anyone who has a special topic of interest that they would like for me to talk about and answer questions about, anyone who makes $100 donation or more, You can choose whatever topic you want and whatever questions you want for that topic. Just make the donation and send me an email, and I'll make your topic for next month and whatever questions you want. And I might even bring in a guest speaker, because next month Sheikh Morsi is available. So I'll bring in Sheikh Morsi for the live next month. He'll sit here with me, inshallah. So any topics that you want, make $100 donation and I'll put you down for next month. This week is what happens on the Day of Judgment. So please make your donations. And by the way, any donations you want to make, please send them in. We need donations to cover our website expenses. It doesn't have to be 100. It could be whatever you want to donate. You know, you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, or Zelle. Please donate and support this Dawah effort. We are a nonprofit organization. Any donations you send in are accepted. All right. Any questions or comments about anything before we close for tonight? And yes, my 6:30 class is tomorrow. The Diluting El Wala Wal Bara. The Ask Sister Laila is tomorrow at 9:30. In fact, let me show you guys the commercial, because I only got one more time to play it for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Q&A.
This week's topic on the Ask Sister Laila live show: what will happen on the Day of Judgment in Islam? Details such as the resurrection, gathering, presentation of deeds, the weighing of deeds, judgment and reckoning, the Sirat Bridge, and so much more eye-opening events that no man, jinn, or creature will be able to escape on that day. Please join Ustada Laila Nasheeba on Friday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, as this very important topic is discussed and broken down for the believer and all who care to hear. We are streaming on all major platforms, so please join us. Channel Sunnahfollowers.
Okay, so are there any questions or comments before we close out for tonight? Y'all didn't have any in Zoom? Okay, so inshallah, I'll see everybody tomorrow. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.